Hello, and welcome to April's Feature of the Month. As you know, in the US, it's tax season, and so today's feature is going to show you how to make user management less taxing and much easier for you. We're going to use an LDAP server, in this case, a Windows 2022 server, to perform authentication for users in the BAM. We'll also show how you can use groups to assign permissions to these users, and so that it makes it much easier for you to grant permissions, add and remove users. So let's take a look at how we can accomplish this with this demo. Okay, to get started with LDAP, let's take a look at our Microsoft server. And so as you can see, I'm in Active Directory users and computers. And as it stands right now, I have two groups. I have the admin DDI group, and I have a read-only DDI group. I have two users for this. I have DDI admin and DDI read-only. And so obviously these accounts are going to, one of them will have admin privileges and the other will have read-only privileges. And so what I did is I added DDI admin to the admin DDI group, and then I added DDI read-only to the DDI read-only group. And so that's all we have to do from the Windows side. So if we take a look at Address Manager, first we'll go to our authenticators. And as you can see, I have a Win2K server, Win2K22 server here, and I have configured it in this way. As you can see, we have options for Active Directory, Open LDAP, or other LDAP servers. I've chosen Active Directory. I used all the defaults here, and I did create the administrator login using the built-in Windows account. And so now that that is complete, we can test connectivity, which this only tests if your BAM can access the Windows server. It doesn't confirm that it can actually authenticate. So it just, in this case, checked for port 383 or 389. Can I get that port? If I can, awesome, and I get a success. And so the next step of this process is to add the groups. And so now we're going to go to Users and Groups, click on Groups, and we're going to add an LDAP group. Now, as you can see, since I was able to authenticate, I already have LDAP groups down here. But if I want to make it easier, I can type a filter in here. Again, I'm looking for admin, and I can select my admin DDI group. And I'm going to make this an administrator level group. And so we'll go ahead and click add. And as you can see, it's been added. And now I'm going to go look at my read-only, sorry, wrong group. My read-only group starts with read-only. So again, I can go to groups. I can say LDAP group, read star. Oops, hit enter in there to cause it to reload. And now I can select my group. I'm not going to make this one an administrator group. So I'm just going to click add. Now to give this group, the read-only group, read-only permissions to my address manager, I'm going to click on administration, go to access rights settings and default access rights. And I'm going to click on access right, select my read-only group, and I'm going to give them the view access as default. Now I could go through and I could set specific permissions such as DNS objects, DHCP zone groups. I can give them granular access. If I had a group that I only wanted to manage DHCP zones and networks, I could grant those permissions. But for this example, we're just going to use view. So I click add, default access is view, scroll to the bottom, click add. Now let's verify this access. So I have my two groups. So now I'm going to log out. And I'm going to log in as DDI admin with my password. As you can see, I've logged in. I can view the different different records or different objects here, I can also go and add a host record. Help if I type the IP correctly. And as you can see, I'm able to manipulate different objects. I'm able to come to the admin tab and I can do deployments. And so as you can see, I have full access on this address manager. Now let's look at what the users look like. And so now I can go to my users and groups, and you'll see there's a DDI admin user. And it tells you in the UI that it's an LDAP user. So I'm going to click on DDI admin. And as you can see, all of my permissions, administrator by group privilege. And so that's how you can tell that the user that I added is an administrator. And if I go look at the LDAP groups now, as you can see, I'm going into the LDAP admin group. You can see that the DDI admin user is here. And so that's how you can grant that level of access to a user using LDAP authentication. And so now I'm going to log out, and let's log in as DDI read only. As you can see, I'm able to log in. I'm able to view the different objects here since my default is view. And I'm going to go and look at that record that I created. And now I'm going to go and try and delete it. And so it looks like it's going to let me, but I do not have permissions. Another thing to note is that I also don't have the administration tab because I don't have permissions to see that. And so that is how you can grant granular permissions to users using an LDAP authentication. Okay, so let's see what happens when I disable an account in Active Directory. So I'm going to log out of our DDI read-only account. And I'm going to come into Active Directory and I'm going to disable this account. So now when I go back to log in, you'll see that it doesn't let me in. And this is expected behavior because I have disabled the account, and therefore Active Directory has told the address manager, hey, this account's been disabled. And if I re-enable the account, I'm able to log back in. So there you have it. We went over how to create the authenticator, how to connect it to Active Directory, how to validate that you can log in, how to add groups and assign permissions to those groups, and then show that the centralized account management works when you enable and disable accounts. Thanks for joining us for April's Feature of the Month. I hope you enjoyed learning how LDAP can help you manage your user base and grant permissions to your address manager in a quick and easy manner. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you next month.